Ciao tutti. This is another live lesson for Italian. And the last 2 weeks we were looking at the present tense and the past tense, the passato prossimo. And so in Italian, for the present tense, you need to keep in mind that you have the three different groups, the ARE verbs, the ERE verbs, and the IRE verbs. Those are the three infinitives that you have in Italian. And in the past tense, the passato prossimo, you're using a form of avere, to have, as auxiliary verb, and then a past participle of those three different groups. And it functions in a similar way to like the present perfect in English. However, its usage is the past tense. And today we're going to be looking at the future tense, which is a one word conjugation. It doesn't require a auxiliary verb. So also Italian does not use a periphrastic form like going to. It doesn't use that to talk about the future, like a near future. It doesn't have that construction in the language. So they use either the present tense if it's understood that you're talking about something in the future from the context or a time expression, or there's a future with a one word ending. So we're going to look at that today. And so I'm going to get my screen share here, and let me get that going. So there, yeah, you can see my screen now. And so it's a good thing to review. You have the different subject pronouns here. And in order to do the future, these endings that you would add to the end of the verb, it's a good thing to review the forms of avere, to have. So for example, like o, I, a, abbiamo, avete, hanno. You're going to be using similar forms to that for the endings for the future, futuro semplice. So you're going to change, instead of using the a ending, you're going to change that to an e ending. So you can see how on here, parlare, you have this A-R-E. Well, that changes to e, and that's going to be throughout the entire, all of the all of these conjugations here. You're going to have that e there. And then after the e, you have E-R-O with the accent, the backwards accent. And this will also work for the other group, the E-R-E ending, that also keeps the E. So for A-R-E verbs and E-R-E verbs, you have this E-R, and then you add this next part, the O, E-R-A-I, E-R-A with the backwards accent. Then for noi, you have E-R-E-M-O. For the voi form, you have this E-R-E-E-T-E. And for the loro form, you have like ano, yeah, E-R-A-N-N-O. So keep in mind these conjugations for avere. I'll say it again: o, I, a, abbiamo, avete, hanno. Those forms are what you will see plus this er ending. So you have something like, I think this is a question here, like, will you speak Italian? Like, parlerai italiano? Sì, parlerò italiano. And then, or maybe no, non parlerò italiano. Like, I won't speak Italian. For the IRE ending verbs, you keep the I. So you have IRO with backwards accent, IRAI, IRA with backwards accent, IREMO, IRETE, IRANNO. And you could use this also for another verb like finire, to finish. on here. You also need to keep in mind some verbs that change, like the first person in the present tense. These will keep that kind of a spelling change throughout all of the conjugations. So you have giocherò, pagherò, comincerò, mangerò, for these verbs of giocare to play, pagare to pay, cominciare to begin, mangiare to eat, and you have these changes in there. So you'll have the giocherai, pagare, comincerai, mangerai, giocherà, pagherà, comincerà, mangerà, giocheremo, pagheremo, cominceremo, mangeremo, pagherete, comincerete, mangerete, giocheranno, pagheranno, cominceranno, mangeranno. So just keep in mind those pronunciation changes that you would have, not just for the first person, but this will be for all persons. Okay. Another thing to keep in mind here for this future tense are some of these two-syllable verbs that end with are, like dare, to give, fare, to do, stare, to be. It'll keep the a ending. So whereas most other verbs, they will change the a to the e, these ones will keep it, which makes it a little bit more easy to identify that verb. So darò, farò, starò, darai, farai, starai, darà, farà, starà, daremo, faremo, staremo, darete, farete, starete, daranno, faranno, staranno. And those are similar to what you would have for the conjugation of essere, which would be sarò, sarai, sarà, saremo, sarete, saranno. And then another group on here, I'm running out of space on the page, unfortunately, but you have, if there was stress on the infinitive ending, like the e, like avere, potere, you have that stress on there. Well, that e will drop out and it will reduce. You'll have, like for example, andare, it will drop and you'll get this dr, or for avere, you'll get vr together, and dovere, you'll get vr, and for potere, you'll get tr. And for vedere, you have a dr. So, and other examples like venire, you have a v double r, and for volere, vo double r. So you'll get this kind of a little bit of a consonant cluster here instead of keeping that e ending. So you'll have examples here like andrò, avrò, dovrò, potrò, vedrò. Other examples that I couldn't fit on the page. Verrò, vorrò, andrai, avrai, dovrai, potrai, vedrai, verrai, vorrai, andrà, avrà, dovrà, potrà, vedrà, verrà, vorrà. And in the noi form, andremo, avremo, dovremo, potremo, vedremo, verremo, vorremo. In the voi form, andrete, avrete, dovrete, potrete, vedrete, verrete, vorrete. And for the loro form, andranno, avranno, dovranno, potranno, vedranno, verranno, vorranno. So those are some of the things here. And you may want to compare this form with an example like ricevere, ricevere, where the stress is not on that e of the ending. So its conjugation, if you look at ricevere in the future form here, it doesn't reduce. It keeps that e. So riceverò, riceverai, riceverà, riceveremo, riceverete, riceveranno. So you want to kind of compare with this verb to receive. And as you can see on this table that we have here on the Wiktionary.org, we've looked at here for the present tense and we have looked at the past tense. However, here they put it, we didn't look at the past historic. We looked at the passato prossimo, which would be a composed tense, and these ones are showing these simple tenses, but it would be using the past participle, like for example here ricevuto for the past. But we've looked at so far the present is past using avere, and then now the future in this one. Another thing in terms of the usage, basically. Most of the times you'll be using if there's understanding that you're talking about a future, it will probably it could be using a present tense. Let me see here. This other I'm looking at one of my textbooks from university when I was studying Italian for the first time. But basically, if and you can also use this for the probability in the future, in addition to just talking about actions that will take place in the future. But you might have this also, for this probability, you can also use this, for example, like non vedo Zara da molto tempo, like I haven't seen Zara for a long time. Where could she be? Dove sarà? So using this future tense is maybe like, where could she be? And a sense of like probably like i signori vorranno una camera con bagno, vero? The gentlemen probably want a room with a bath, right? So maybe talking in a hotel or something like that. Also, if you're using quando or appena, frequently after se, when the verb, the main clause is in the future tense. So the future will also be in the dependent clause as well, but that's getting into more details on here. But there are a couple of cases here where if it's understood that you're talking about the future, you can go between the sometimes the present tense, sometimes the future tense. If it's kind of a definite event in the immediate future, that's what I was looking for, sorry. To refer to a definite event in the immediate future, the present tense is used, like dove vai domani, like vado dal dottore. And if you have some tentative plans, this would be in the future tense, like che fai per il compleanno la settimana prossima? Non lo so. Forse farò un viaggio con Mariella. So, like, what are your plans for the birthday party or the birthday next week? I don't know. Maybe, probably, I'll go on a trip with Mariella. But if it's like, what am I doing tomorrow? That would probably be in the present tense. Okay, so sorry for taking the time when I was looking at on the page here. But so once again, I would recommend using these conjugation tables that you have on Wiktionary. So, for example, like the parlare you have there, scrivere, and capire. Those are a couple typical verbs for each group. We also have finire, and comparing what we looked at here for today with like the ricevere to see how some of those letters drop out. But so. Let me go here. And so, yeah, thank you for watching. And so if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or suggestion or correction. I know I'm not a native speaker, so you'll want to use more authentic recordings for the pronunciation. And if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and we'll continue working on some things next week. Probably next week we'll be looking at some little interjections and little phrases, things that people throw in to their speaking so that they sound more natural. So I'm putting together a list of these little expressions that native speakers use, and I'm collaborating with native speakers to get their input on this. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.